Hit that baby one more time. This is Bizarre Podcast Dogs Must Die. My name is Grant. You can call him Chip, and we are continuing on talking about episodes 19 and 20 of Stardust Crusaders. Have you noticed? This is our 19th episode, and we're starting by talking about a 19th episode.
Oh, man. It keeps happening. I think this happened last week, too, right?
Well, yeah, last week was our 18th, and it ended with Stardust Crusaders' 18th.
Right. So yeah, this is the first of, I think, 3 two-parters, one after another. So like we said last time, we're only covering each two-parter rather than doing 3 episodes because we don't want to end on a cliffhanger. Or at least more of a cliffhanger than you usually get at the end of any JoJo episode.
We don't want to end halfway in the middle of a stand. We want to talk about all of the stands.
Yeah. So we've got Death 13 Part 1 and 2 today. Which immediately starts with Kakyoin and his lovely striped pajamas in a black void.
And he wakes up to the sound of a crying baby, which is an anxiety dream that I think Kakyoin is too young to have.
Well, we don't really know much backstory about Kakyoin at all, so maybe his secret motivation for joining everybody on this thing was to just get away from all of his illegitimate children.
You think Kakyoin is fathering children across the high schools of Japan?
Oh, no. He seems like too much of a good boy.
Because I did see how those ladies were looking at him, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kakyoin's biological clock is ticking. As he finds himself awakened inside a Ferris wheel gondola that is the size of a studio apartment.
It's huge.
This is huge.
Yeah, and he's in some type of like theme park. All the colors are weird. The sky is like a deep green. The trees are purple.
Things are generally pink. There's a lot of pink in the structures around. But yeah, he looks out and you can see all of the various flat rides, well-manicured parks and landscaping that you would expect from a theme park. There's an obvious like Disneyland inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is modeled on a different park. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. And there's one other thing inside this car in the Ferris wheel with him, and that's a dog.
Nothing is more foreboding than the appearance of a new dog.
Yeah.
I see some sort of fanged monster, like, whatever, that's no big deal. I see a dog, I'm white knuckle, baby.
Something bad is going to happen. So yeah, Kaku's like petting the dog's wagging his tail, and Kaku's just like, man, this baby crying is weird. A whole bunch of balloons float up into the sky. He grabs one of them. They all have cards tied to like the string in the balloon. Turns it around. It's the Death 13, the Death Tarot card.
Yes, the Death Tarot card, which is numbered 13 of the major arcana. The numbers haven't ever come into play until now. And it's been a long time since we had a color. Actually, that used to be the thing.
Yes. Yeah, there used to be a color, I don't know, chartreuse? But as Kakyoin is looking at the card and going, uh-oh, death, the illustration of death on the card comes to life.
This is new. I don't think we've ever had... It is rare, at least, if not new, for a stand to be depicted in the card art that goes with that stand. But this version of death is sort of like a porcelain mask Harlequin clown with a giant scythe, Grim Reaper style, being death and all. Its whole body occluded by this long, flowing cloak.
Yeah, I like this thing's design. It's cool. It's got a goofy hat,
cool.
though.
Oh, very, very goofy.
It's got a really tall, round hat. It's got like it looks like it has a health bar on the front of it because it's like in segments and it's partially filled up. I don't know. But yeah, this thing leaps out of the card and swings its scythe, and it goes clean through the dog's head.
And this is why dogs aren't allowed in Ferris wheels. It's for their own safety.
Yeah. You might get a scythe through the head, dog.
Straight through the face. I assume it's disgusting. It is blacked out hard.
Oh, yeah. And as Kakyoin is just like looking at the dog and screaming, he is suddenly awoken. He's in his bed. Polnareff just shook him awake.
And Polnareff has his bag back. They listened.
Yay!
Through decades of time. They heard me.
Yay. His trademark bag. Although, isn't it smaller than it used to be?
Well, he's used a lot of the stuff he packed.
Okay, that's sure. I really like that one. Polnareff is just like, bro, why are you screaming? Kakyoin goes, bad dream, man. I don't know. And Polnareff's response is like, oh man, I want to hear about it. He loves nightmares. But yeah, Kakyoin cannot remember his dream like at all, really. Just that it was scary.
But before we move on, I should talk about the Death Tarot card before we lose it.
Yeah.
It represents ends, mortality, obviously, destruction, corruption, and for a man, the loss of a benefactor. But for a woman, many contrarieties, and for a maid, failure of marriage prospects.
Oh boy,
This is some sort of gender-locked tarot card.
that's weird, and man, death is busy. That's too many roles for one job. That's three people's jobs.
But generally, like the death card is interpreted not so much as literal death, but as the end of a thing, the close of a chapter, and therefore technically the beginning of something new. Unless it is an actual literal death in this case.
Yeah, this thing just wants to kill you. When Polnareff pulls up the blinds in Kakyoin's room, they're sleeping like right outside the runway with the Cessna. Mm-hmm. I like that they're right next to it.
They got an airport access hotel.
Yeah. But yeah, they've already gotten a hold of the plane. They're going to drive like 500 kilometers that day. Once they hop on. But as they're walking out... Oh, also right before they walked out, Kakyoin noticed that his arm was bleeding. Mm-hmm. He had a big cut on his arm.
So we, the viewer, get basically the mechanics, right? This is if you die in the dream, you die in real life sort of situation. Mm-hmm. This was probably in popular consciousness at the time from, the Nightmare on Elm Street. Mm-hmm. But the basic idea is, of course, very, very old, very folkloric. One of the root instances of it is probably the succubus legend, the demon that comes to you in your sleep and saps your essence, your sexual vigor, because it's one of them fuck demons.
Oh man.
To the point that you might die. Yeah.
Yeah, just become a desiccated husk.
Yeah. Thank you to a friend of the show, Diane, for when I was looking for where does this really come from, for pointing out that connection and reminding me of that. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you. So when Kakyoin and Polnareff walk outside, they hear a little kid crying, and they look over to where that kid is, and he's crying over his dead dog, and it's the dog from the dream.
Kakyoin says to himself, I could have sworn that I saw a dead dog not too long ago. Oh yeah, you think? You want me to count them for you, Kakyoin?
You see one about every other day, dude. You got to be more specific. At least differentiate color of dog? We've had different colored dogs, so at least.
That red line on the map, that's not following your journey. It's just connecting all the dead dogs of the world.
So Kakyoin is just like, and then they move on with their day. Mm-hmm. But Joseph's having an argument with the dude that sold him the Cessna, saying I got to take this back. You can have your money back. We need this plane for a much more important thing. We got a baby that's super sick, and we have no doctors here.
All right, is that baby a victim or a stand user? Place your bets now, people. We know Dio was an evil baby. That has been said in the text. Evil babies are on the table.
And it's you look at the baby in this little basket, and it looks sick. It's all sweaty and stuff, but that don't mean shit. An evil baby could fake that.
The baby is being cradled by a middle-aged woman. Is that supposed to be the baby's mom? Because she is really nonchalant and pragmatic about having a baby with a 102-degree fever.
Yeah.
And she comes up with the idea to give him away to angry strangers.
Yeah, please take him. Take him.
And she's not pleading. She's just well, logically, if...
Yeah. I love this quick shot of they're talking about what to do with the baby, and it's the Cessna can only hold 4, but a baby would be fine to carry. Mm-hmm. and the camera zooms in on this sick-looking baby, and then for like a couple of frames, it makes an evil smile and it has vampire fangs.
Yep, that's it. Evil baby. That's an evil baby.
And only Kakyoin notices, and he's just like, and he like looks around, and no one else has noticed the evil baby face.
So like the whole two-parter just falls into place at this moment, as you know. Oh God, they're going to have to punch a baby.
They're gonna have to fight a baby.
One of these men, one of these heroic good boys, is going to murder a baby for the cause of righteousness.
They have to save Jotaro's mom. Got to kill a baby. What if a baby had a gun, was gonna shoot you with the gun?
You gotta punch the baby.
You gotta fight back. You gotta attack the baby. So they take the baby. Polnareff is like, real cocky, is like, you know, man, we followed every single precaution. We made sure there were no stand users anywhere. We checked out the plane we're in to make sure it wasn't a stand user who has a plane as a stand. And it's like, yeah, that's really thorough. But every time you think, man, we've been so thorough, you know, what if our shoes are a stand now or something? There's always the bad guys are always one step ahead. Baby stand. You would never think of that yet. After this, you're going to be checking every baby to see if they're evil. But for now, that's a normal baby.
So as they, you know, do their pre-flight checks and take off, agreeing that, you know, they're going to get this baby the medical care it needs as soon as they land, so that the baby doesn't have to wait 2 days for their second plane to be fixed, and they don't have to wait 2 or 3 days for the plane to make a round trip to get the baby to the doctor. They're going to take the baby to the doctor. That's the plan. Yay. And as they leave, the lady that was holding the baby is like, I wonder who that baby belonged to anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't wonder this before? You stole a baby?
Yeah, she was just like, I don't know, when I was near the baby, it made my head fuzzy, and I wanted to give it away. It made me want to give it away. God. They're flying across the desert, and Polnareff, just like me, yawning here, is like, damn, I'm sleepy. Mm-hmm. And tells everybody, hey, I'm just going to take like a quick 30-minute nap. He falls asleep. Kakyoin, also very sleepy. He falls asleep. And then they both wake up together in the Ferris wheel. Mm-hmm. Dead dog's still in there.
Now I want to talk about this amusement park. Mm-hmm. I'm picking up that pin from later. So while it's easy to say that this is inspired by Disneyland, I would say it is instead a more direct reference to Nara Dreamland.
Yeah.
Both because of the name and its generally pink hue.
Yeah, I could totally see that being Nara.
Nara Dreamland, in its inception, was the first attempt at licensing the Disney brand for a Japanese theme park. The license fell through, but the park went forward, and it opened years before Tokyo Disneyland did, and closed in 2005, becoming an urban explorer destination for urbex people around the globe.
Yeah, I think there's a Defunct Land video on Nara.
I'm sure there is.
I'm pretty sure I've actually watched that, because I think that's how I know about that place. But yeah, Nara was cool.
During Stardust Crusaders publication, both parks were just open and operating, serving, you know, the people of Japan. So
Kakyoin, now that he's back in the dream, he like remembers the previous dream as well.
Yes.
And Polnareff's just like, oh, damn, it's a dream? Then none of this is actually scary. And he just sits down and starts like playing with the dead dog, just like lifting up its ear. It's like, none of this is actually scary. It ain't real.
He keeps talking about how, you know, malleable and controllable dream reality is. You know, you just think of something and it's there. Is Polnareff a lucid dreamer?
Maybe.
Does he turn a lot of his dreams into leg dreams?
He explicitly went out of his way to train to be a lucid dreamer just for that. Yeah. And also so that he, like in this episode, at this point, he could just conjure ice cream in his hand.
Mm-hmm. So Death 13 arrives and lets loose its catchphrase, lolly ho.
Yeah, it's going to be saying that a whole lot.
All the time. It's sort of punctuation, but especially for threatening moments.
Yeah. Death 13 appears via first yelling at them through a bullhorn that erupts from the dog's head from like its scythe wound.
Yeah.
And then all of Death 13 just comes crawling out of the dog's face.
This is the new worst dog death.
Yeah.
Not so much the death itself, but how the poor dog's carcass is treated.
Mm-hmm.
Just disgusting. It's the worst. It's the worst thing in the world.
Something, I'm just thinking too hard about. But the dead dog is still there, but the dog's dead. Is the dog dreaming in death? If you died, you just stay in the dream? I don't know.
So this pastel wonder world is the dog's hell. This is dog hell.
Yeah. Yep. What did this dog do? Nothing.
This dog's eternal resting place is for its spirits to be torn asunder by a stand and to see all of the wonders of joy, but completely unpeopled. Like this dog might love amusement parks, but not now. Do dogs love amusement parks? Only service dogs would know.
There's got to be a couple that like it. But yeah, back in reality, both Jotaro and Joseph are already suspicious. They're just whispering to each other that hey, something feels off. Mm-hmm. Just me. But yeah, Death 13 has grabbed Polnareff by the neck and is about to just run his scythe through his mouth.
Yeah, always the blades on the tongues. Just
blades on
tongue. We got a blade on tongue. We got a dog death. This is the most JoJo episode. But they're trying to summon their stands to fight back. They will not appear.
Yeah, and of course Polnareff is just trying to straight up punch the stand at that point, and nothing. It's just passing through because it's a damn ghost. But
back in the waking world, the thing that our JoJo bros were talking about isn't that they're sensing some nefarious stand magic. No, their noses were twitching, and the baby needs a change.
Baby change.
So they wake up Polnareff, who is saved by the smell.
He's all messed up from the dream already, just shaking, sweating. Everyone's just like, "You okay?" I guess I'm cool. Same as Kakyoin, can't remember what was happening. He just knows it was a really bad nightmare.
This is a stand whose weakness is dream journaling.
Oh no. Kakyoin seems like the guy who would dream journal. I don't know.
I think he'd try it. I don't know if he does, but he seems to be the type that could be convinced to try it.
So Polnareff's got to change the evil baby's diaper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which version you were watching. My version is partially censored, at least with the dog death. But this one, you just straight up see the poop.
You see the poop, and you see the tiny baby penis. You see it all.
Yep. There's a later episode that's got a lot more baby penis in it, and I hate it. It's one of those things where it's just yo, maybe we need a warning for that one. I don't know. It's a lot.
It's sort of like the cultural taboo is different because under a certain age, Japanese stuff can just show penises.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
just when I would watch the original Dragon Ball on Toonami, they had to find all the ways to censor Goku's toddler, baby penis or whatever, because it was just it was just out there a lot. A lot. Basically every shot was just Master Roshi's cane was in the way.
It's just not a taboo until you get to a certain age, and I don't know what that age is, but it's certainly point of acclamation, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that weird when it is a literal in diaper baby, but
sure,
when it's a kid running around, that's when it's strange.
Yeah. Jotaro has to help Polnareff change the diaper because it's just
he
too
is
much
shocked to see poop in there. Polnareff has no idea there's comic relief kind of goofy dumb guy, and then there's not knowing that babies poop in diapers. Where the fuck have you been living?
Polnareff doesn't shit.
This is the first poop he's ever seen.
Yeah, it's not because he doesn't know about poop. It's just that his entire life he's been having toilet problems, so he's never been able to poop his whole life. There's always a pig in it or, something else. He's still waiting to figure out what pooping is.
That's why he's so huge. He's about to explode. He's gonna pop.
Those ain't muscles. Fucking gross.
So, in the dream, Death 13 now only has one target to focus on, and it's Kakyoin. And Kakyoin is freaking the fuck out, facing down certain death.
He's trying to figure out any way he can communicate or anything.
Mm-hmm.
While still in his nightmare, in real life, he's just starting to flail a lot. He's kicking and swinging his arms around. He accidentally kicks Joseph right across the jaw, and that sends the plane spiraling straight down towards the ground.
Everybody knew plane crash number 4 was only a matter of time. It's coming.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here it is.
So Death 13 grabs Kakyoin and just like fuses him with one of the corners of the Ferris wheel car they're in, and like ties him up so that he can't move anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The baby through the stand says, "I may crap in my diapers, but I know a lot more than you guys. I'm 11 months old, and I'm a genius." And then he starts pushing eyeballs out of his stand's mask and feeding them to Kakyoin right into his mouth.
Like there is a lot of nightmaric imagery in the real world of JoJo's, but like when you're doing a dreamland story, that is the chance to really let loose. And yeah, oozing eyeballs going down someone's throat, and then they eventually pop out little spider legs.
Yeah.
That's the real shit. That's it.
And so Kakyoin's trying to do anything to communicate with the other guys in the real world. So he pulls out a pocket knife and starts cutting his arm, and it won't wake him up. No matter how much pain he feels in this Stan's dream world.
And he is doing a number on himself. Like he is going to work on his own forearm with a knife. But this whole time, when there's a baby Stan, you can't help but wonder, who has been using this language in front of this baby?
Yeah.
This baby is quite rude.
Yeah.
When did Dio meet this baby? Is Dio going to give the baby money? What is Dio offering this baby?
A lot of baby formula. How did the baby become so loyal to an evil vampire so fast? The baby isn't a vampire, but it looks like one. It's got the fangs.
Is Dio just so good at peekaboo that the baby is enamored and just fiendishly loyal now?
Oh, man. Dio would be good at peekaboo. Yeah, those eyeballs grow little legs. They start like cramming themselves down and pulling out of some mouth, or Kakyoin's mouth. It's like a nasty. Cuts back to the plane again. Joseph is fairly cool about the plane hurtling towards the ground rapidly. Like he's
been here before. He's got a lot of experience with this sort of thing.
And Jotaro's also pretty calm, just saying like, "Hey, old man, just like fucking fix it." And just trying to pull the plane up won't work on its own. And so Joseph calls out Hermit Purple, and it crawls into the circuitry of the plane, and that makes the plane fly better to the point that it appears to have a Super Saiyan aura.
Well, like, he supercharges the controls with Hamon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he uses Hamon, too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hamon's done a lot of shit, but it never flew a plane before. This is some of that part 1 Hamon, but without the explanation and a ridiculous name shouted for it.
Yeah, he just shouts overdrive. That's it. So they're able to straighten the plane out, but they're really close to the ground. But like,
Colonel, we managed to avoid crashing.
We haven't crashed. Okay, it's fine. Oops, there's 2 palm trees right ahead of them, and they just clip the wings clean off the plane, basically, and crash.
So yes, they have crashed dead center of the Arabian Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that is? The desert. That's where they put the desert, right in the middle.
It's right there. I like when they crash that it zooms out just to, a map of the world, and it just draws a little X where they crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now they're fucked. They're in the desert again. Mm-hmm. They've got some water and some supplies, but that's it. So they're setting up camp for the night. They're just asking like, Kakyoin, what's up with you? You look really fucked up, dude.
And he doesn't have much to say. He's a little bloody. That's weird. I might have just got injured in the crash, I guess. Yeah. He's not well rested, but he has this weird sense that something's wrong with his baby. I also believe there's something wrong with this baby. Baby head too big. Baby legs too small.
Baby's head huge. Baby head huge.
I had checked a mommy blog for the 11-month-old milestones. This baby's real fucked up. They're supposed to be like scooting around. Like some babies are even walking or like walking along, holding themselves up along furniture at least.
Yeah.
But my favorite milestone I saw was that 11 months is the perfect age to start teaching a baby that there is a difference between right and wrong.
Oh, shit. This
baby
failed.
Needs those lessons so bad.
This baby was never taught, I think.
Now is the time.
Oh my God.
You got to teach your baby.
Come on, Joseph. You're the dad of the group.
Teach that baby. He is definitely the dad of the group.
He does peekaboo with this baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Really good animation for Joseph doing peekaboo. And I like that Polnareff is watching Joseph play peekaboo with the evil baby. And Polnareff's just stone-faced watching Joseph do this, just says, "What's so funny about that? It's not even a joke."
You're right behind your hands, obviously. What kind of idiot is this baby?
Yeah.
I mean, the baby is some sort of super genius.
Yeah.
The baby mentions its wee-wee in one of its taunts. It says wee-wee.
Right, yeah, it's when Kakyoin's cutting his arm trying to wake himself up, and yeah, he says, like, "You're not going to get anywhere with a knife that's smaller than my wee-wee."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Which we have seen.
Yeah.
We know exactly how devastating that insult is.
Joseph playing peekaboo with the evil baby. We get to see the evil baby's inner thoughts, where its face gets way more evil looking. He fucking hates playing peekaboo. He hates it. Does not like this. The radio in the plane's busted, so they got to find some other way to communicate people. And they just decide, like, well, we're just going to have to fucking hike it tomorrow with this baby. We got to save this baby, who at the moment seems perfectly fine. Is having fun playing peekaboo.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have 102-degree fever anymore.
Yeah, the plane crash took it out of him.
Your doctor will never prescribe a plane crash, and maybe you should ask them why that is. What are they trying to hide, huh?
One cool trick doctors don't want you to know. Crashing a plane.
So in a quiet moment, Kakyoin rolls up his sleeve to try to bandage his wound, and as he cleans the blood away, he sees that it's not just, some cut from plane wreckage or anything like that. It's the words "baby stand" in all caps, carved into his forearm.
I love this fucking reveal.
Imagine if Memento ended with the guy punching a baby.
Yeah, that's an alternate ending on the DVD.
Both doctors and Christopher Nolan are trying to hide the truth from you.
It's not just like a quiet thing where he rolls up his sleeve and then it's just like, huh, that's weird. Like the camera whooshes out and there's a big bam sound effect. It's so dramatic that baby stand is on his arm.
This two-part episode seems to synthesize a lot of what we said about the last two stand fights. The way that the Sun episode had these hard lines between the different tones it was trying to do, and the Death 13 fight is blending them together because we are in an impossible situation. This is terribly dangerous. Yet the whole time, it's completely comical, just the idea of baby stand.
Yeah. And I like that, after he looks at the baby stand carving on his arm, he tries to think what the fuck that means. And he goes wait a minute, baby stand. And then he his eyes dart over to the baby. And we get a shot of the baby's perspective of Kakyoin being 20 feet away, really far away, just looking right at him. And the baby goes oh shit, and looks away. Just breaks eye contact because suddenly Kakyoin's really suspicious of the baby. He starts slowly walking over to him.
And so this, it's been seeded from the very beginning of the episode, but this is when, the big questions really come into stark light. How do you convince people to let you punch a baby? Yeah. When you yourself are not even 100% sure you should punch the baby?
Kakyoin picks up the baby, convinced that it's the stand user. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't just pick it up like a normal baby. He grabs it by the collar and lifts it up hey, buddy, I'm going to rough you up.
But also, how do you communicate this fight's mechanics between the sleeping and waking self when that seems to be part of it? Part of Death 13's power is you never can remember these dreams. And
so Kakyoin is just he's kind of failing at telling other people, hey, there's something wrong with this baby, because he just doesn't know how to. Everything he does just makes him look like a fucking psycho. Joseph comes over and it's just dude, that is not how you hold a baby. You could strangle him that way. And so he just like starts cradling the baby, and everyone's just like, man, Kakyoin looks like he's really losing it. Maybe he'll calm down after he eats some food.
They all are thinking about, how far they've come and how stressful it's been. And, maybe someone could crack up. Maybe at Kakyoin, we can't trust him to stay the course.
Part 1 here ends in the cliffhanger of no one believing Kakyoin and thinking he might be going a little crazy, and the baby making a little evil face and going,
So that brings us to episode 20, Death 13, part 2. We start quiet around the campfire as JoJo contemplates the journey off alone, even down to the number of kilometers they've traveled. It's been about 4 weeks, he says, about 4 weeks. So we are in the second half of the ticking clock regarding his mother's very life.
Yeah. I just like the shot of him just looking at the stars with a cup of coffee or tea or something. It almost looks like an ad for it, the way it's framed. Jotaro comes back to camp, and everyone's talking about Kakyoin, kind of whispering to each other again, because, Kakyoin's just eating all alone by himself, like on the opposite side of the camp, just holding his head in his hands, like he's all fucked up.
Yeah, the baby is seeing this distrust and feeling very, very confident in himself.
The baby is thinking to himself about, how his plan is working. No one's believing Kakyoin. I'm kind of separating them a little bit here. But the baby strikes a face that's like a combo of normal baby face and evil baby face, because he looks really chubby. He's got a really chubby smile going on, but he's got the vampire fangs. Mm-hmm. Joseph feeds Polnareff some baby food.
Yeah, he's made some homemade baby food out of like vegetables and fruits and egg yolk. And Polnareff fucking loves it. He cannot get enough of this baby food.
He just starts digging into this pot of baby food. And the baby's really pissed because he's hungry and he wants the baby food. There's a scorpion right
there
by
sure
the baby
is.
now.
This scorpion is threatening the baby, and like we're underlining this huge gap in capability between the stand and its user. At least you think you are, until the baby exclaims "crap baskets."
Yeah.
And then stabs the scorpion all the way through with a giant safety pin.
And the baby's, phew, got that scorpion before it stung me. And then he looks over his shoulder, and Kakyoin is like frozen in place, freaking the fuck out because he just saw a baby kill a scorpion with a safety pin.
I gotta check that mommy blog again, see what age that's supposed to happen.
So he runs over to everybody else and just like, this baby isn't normal. You killed a scorpion. You killed a scorpion.
And like they want to trust him, they want to believe him, although, such a claim requires evidence. So they start looking around for the dang dead scorpion.
And I like that the baby cannot hide at all when it's freaking out that it's got caught, because its eyes are like bulging out of its head. It's shaking. It's like cowering, trying to hide its face in the basket.
And so they seek this dead scorpion, but they do not find the scorpion, and that is just sealing Kakyoin's fate. Mm-hmm. Is this the first stand or first stand user to attack the bonds between the group? I mean, the devil took advantage of sort of ambivalence toward Polnareff, but that's not quite the same.
I guess the closest you get is Rubber Soul pretending to be Kakyoin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there isn't really anything else like that.
Are all of Dio's minions like zeroing in on Kakyoin as the weak link? It's fucking rude.
They were going after Polnareff for a while, but yeah. So many guys have died now. Maybe they're changing tactics here.
Just hurt Joseph.
Like, if you go after Joseph, like, he's Mr. Moneybags. Like, they're not going to be able to buy the cars and planes that need to get to you if Joseph's dead. Or at least not as easily. They
won't have the contacts wherever they're going. That, like, come on. He's the least punchable.
Mm-hmm. They can't find that scorpion anywhere, and everyone's just getting real worried about Kakyoin. Joseph goes to feed the baby food, and the baby don't want to eat now. Mm-hmm. His cheeks are puffing up and stuff. Yeah, he's got that scorpion in his mouth.
And he's doing everything he can to keep that mouth closed and the scorpion hidden, including avoiding this delicious baby food that all babies love, including gigantic French babies.
And so at this point, Kakyoin is getting really desperate, and he just shows everyone the words baby stand that he carved into his arm. Mm-hmm. And then Kakyoin is just like, fuck, this just makes me look really really crazy.
He is desperate enough to be making strategic errors, which is very unlike him.
Yeah.
Perhaps because he is not thinking in terms of fights. He's not really plotting this out in the same way he would, because they are his friends. They are meant to trust him implicitly. And without that, like, his calculus is just wrong.
And so at this point, Kakyoin goes like, okay, fuck it. I've run out of ideas. I'm going to punch the baby right now. So he calls out Hierophant Green. He leaps into the air, going for this baby. But Silver Chariot comes up behind him, just knocks him in the back of the head and knocks him out. And everyone like officially thinks Kakyoin has just lost his mind now.
At this point, in silence, as he falls, Kakyoin is pleading to everyone individually and as a group to just trust him, believe him. To notice that there's something wrong with this baby and they're all in terrible danger, even if he, the waking Kakyoin, doesn't know what form that danger takes.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic. It's very sad. It's really good.
Yeah, I like this two-parter a lot. So at this point, they put Kakyoin off to the side and they're talking about how, like, okay, Kakyoin can't, fight with us anymore. He's lost it. We're going to figure out what we do with him, like, tomorrow morning. We got to take him somewhere. They put the baby back in the basket, and now the baby finally like spits out the dead scorpion. Yeah. So now it is bedtime for everybody. Everybody's going to sleep, and all three of the remaining guys all wake up in this theme park.
Yep. Everybody's in dreamland together, except the baby, of course, because the baby is now free to get up, toddle around, and chow down on that baby food.
Oh, yeah.
It's some good shit. 2 out of 2 eaters agree.
Yeah, when Joseph and Jotaro are trying to figure out where they are, Polnareff says, like, Polnareff recognizes the place, goes like, oh, this is a dream. Everyone else is like, okay, cool, I'll just go back to sleep then.
And he's like, no, it's a bad dream. It's a very dangerous
bad
dream. Don't do what I did last time I took a nap. No.
Yeah. Polnareff is trying to tell them that, like, he thinks this isn't just a normal, weird, bad dream. And as he's trying to figure out what to do, Joseph just goes, Polnareff, what's up with your hair? Camera pans up, and Polnareff's hair grows absurdly tall.
And then just splays out into giant tentacles that wrap themselves around, like, lampposts, I think?
Yeah.
Some sort of post. I think it's lampposts. And binds him between them, while JoJo's chain that is attached to, the lapel of his coat also gets a life of its own and ties itself off, chaining him in place. And then Joseph's mechanical hand grows many, many times its size and becomes an anchor that sticks him in place where he stands.
Yeah.
They are all bound by their own accessories, as the Phantom of the Opera would say, slaves of fashion.
And this is when Death 13 reappears.
Lolly ho, motherfucker.
Lolly ho. Starts walking towards them. We get an interstitial card here that actually introduces the stand user's name, localized to Manishu Bui? Manish Boy?
Yes, Manish Boy is a Muddy Waters song. Also a pretty good name for a evil baby, I guess, that acts well beyond his year.
Yeah.
His almost 1 year. But I don't know if this is just... I don't know enough about, like, linguistics, obviously, to say if this is just a WAMU style. Manishu Bui is just the Japanese transliteration for Manish Boy.
Maybe?
Also, before that card comes, I think it's Polnareff who shouts, "Holy shit bricks." So,
oh yeah, he says "Holy shit bricks."
Just want to note that.
So Death 13 is about to attack. JoJo calls out Star Platinum as Polnareff's like, "Yo, you can't do that. You can't call stands here." But Star Platinum shows up anyways.
And Star Platinum is happy. You ever want to see Star Platinum smile? You can see it now. I don't like it. It's wrong.
Yeah, it feels bad. It feels weird.
It's like Wednesday Addams smiling. It's a bad thing. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm. So Star Platinum smiling turns around and just starts, 100,000 punching Jotaro. Mm-hmm. He pulls out a frying pan and starts smashing his face a whole lot into different cartoony faces. Mm-hmm. And it's also like Star Platinum doing like a really stupid voice, like a mocking version of Star Platinum's normal voice.
Because that's not the real Star Platinum. No, that's just Death 13 in disguise. Because you can't bring your stands here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if your stand was out as you fell asleep, it would be brought into the dream along with you. But who would even know to do that in advance? Because information can't be shared between the dream and the real world. So that's why Death 13 feels so confident in explaining the method by which he could be defeated.
Yeah. He's taunting all three of them because they can't do shit. They're all stuck in place. Mm-hmm. He's about to just, slice all their heads off at once.
Only thing that can fight a stand is another stand, and there ain't no stands in here but me, so I'm going to cut you to ribbons with my giant scythe.
And as he's about to do that, Hierophant Green pops up right behind him and just starts choking him. And it's the actual Hierophant Green.
So that whole, you are now in my trap, Mr. Bond, I shall explain my plan thing was for us, the viewer, to not question it when the real Hierophant Green shows up.
Yeah.
How did Kakyoin know? Did Kakyoin know? Is this just some sort of happy accident from being knocked unconscious by Polnareff? The jury is out.
I think it's a bit of a happy accident, but either that or realizing that maybe this would work as he's passing out. Also, Kakyoin has a different color palette for this scene. He's got gray hair, and a black jacket.
Once the fight proper starts, which I guess is when they all get chained up, there is one color shift, and Kakyoin shifts to silver hair, black coat, and he looks fly as hell.
Yeah, red eyes.
I love it.
There's there for certain JoJo characters. I forget the brand name or whatever. Whoever makes the JoJo figures, but they do sell alternate color palettes for scenes like this, so you can totally get a silver-haired Kakyoin if you want. I thought about it.
But yeah, Kakyoin is now explaining how he was able to trick Death 13 and sneak up on him. Not only was Hierophant Green out when he fell unconscious, but Hierophant Green had tunneled into an underground burrow so that the baby with his real-world waking eyes wouldn't see that Hierophant Green was still out and therefore transmitted to the dream world.
Yeah.
Underground burrowing is the OP strat of JoJo's.
Dude, it works so good.
It's top-tier tech.
The only people who haven't done it on the hero side so far is Polnareff, I think, and Joseph. Mm-hmm. Everyone else has burrowed underground at some point.
And Joseph should know how a powerful underground burrowing is. That's how he lost his hand.
God damn, burrowing underground happens so much in JoJo.
Just like dead dogs. Just like
dead dogs. There's so many recurring themes.
All the hits. Elements. We're playing all the hits. Plane crash?
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hierophant Green sort of has Death 13 in a full Nelson, basically. And Kakyoin says, quote, "I don't care that you're a baby. I'll snap your neck like a twig." Again, all of these stand users putting children in harm's way. Are you a bad enough dude to stab this kid in the eye or whatever? Now the stand user is the kid.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it.
Yeah. Death 13 is flailing around trying to get Hierophant Green with his scythe, but, Hierophant Green is just straight behind him, so he can't get hit by this scythe at all. Mm-hmm. Everyone runs over to Kakyoin just saying, dude, we're so sorry. We owe you a big apology. So sorry, you were right. Baby stand. Totally.
But Death 13 still has some tricks up his sleeve, like a giant scythe. He throws the scythe, it sort of boomerangs around, and chops both itself and Hierophant Green in half.
Yeah.
Or so it seems. Because Death 13, that cloak, just a cloak. All it is head, shoulders, arms, and scythe.
Yeah.
Apparently the scythe is part of it.
Yeah. I like that when he pulls the remainder of his cloak apart, so you see it's just shoulders and nothing else. I like that this stand is mechanical.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Hierophant Green, though, does have a full body, which means it was cut in half, which means Kakyoin should also be cut in half and blood pooling inside that a sleeping bag. So little baby crawls over to check and look upon his handiwork and is shocked to see that is not the case.
So yeah, we get a reveal with Hierophant Green here. It appears that the lower half of his body is just missing, but no. So Hierophant Green has tentacles that he can extend really far. We've seen him use really long tentacles before.
All the time. It's basically a cyber noodle.
Yeah, but this time he's extended his tentacles out so long that his body is unraveling to create more tentacles. So the lower half of his body has just unraveled into a tentacle that is burrowing into the ear of Death 13.
Remember when we were first introduced to the stand and how it was puppeting a woman by crawling inside her and you could see its head inside her mouth?
Yeah, he's doing that.
It's time for that to come back. It's been a while since we've had a Hierophant puppetry, but it's back, and that is his method of victory, essentially.
He completely unravels Hierophant Green entirely. It's just one long, tapeworm now. In this stand, it's chilling out. It opens its mouth, and you can just see Hierophant Green chilling inside there. Mm-hmm. And he puppets Death 13 into holding its scythe up to its own neck, just so holding it hostage, don't make me kill you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The baby's freaking out in real life because it could feel the stand going into its stand's ear, and therefore it himself.
Yeah, he feels like he's gonna burst. It's probably pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We have to burp the baby. The baby's very gassy.
Got a ghost inside my brain.
So yeah, Death 13 and the baby submit, and we cut straight to the following morning. Kakyoin is up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, making breakfast for everybody. The other three companions are all bleary and because they had a pretty rough night. They wake up not remembering a thing. The last thing they remember is their good friend having a baby-based freakout and wondering if they're going to have to ditch him at the next airport.
Yeah.
But now he seems back to his old self because he actually does remember everything. Another side effect of bringing your stand into the dream is that the stand will hold your memories as you come out of the dream. Mm-hmm. Fine, sure.
Okay. All right.
And so Kakyoin has decided to convince his companions that he's not cracking up by making them all think that they are, which seems rather rude. But whatever works, I guess.
So he goes over to the evil baby, goes to change its diaper, just leaves the poop hanging out there, not fully changes its diaper because he has a one-on-one with the evil baby. Mm-hmm. Listen, because you're a baby, I won't mortally wound you or injure you at all. We'll take you to a nearby town, but after that, you got to go back to your mom, and you don't ever come near us again because I will kill you.
Now, by mom, do you mean that random woman he brain fogged yesterday?
Or rather, Kakyoin just says, I will punish you, not kill you.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he takes a spoon, cuts off a little bit of the baby poop, and drops it into the baby food and stirs it in, and he says, this is how I will punish you.
And the baby says, is that my poop?
Don't feed a evil baby poop. Kakyoin. No.
So it's all stirred up, and then Joseph comes over okay, time to feed the baby. I'm gonna take a spoon of this baby food. And the baby does not want to eat the baby food. Mm-mm. We know the baby loves the baby food when prepared properly. The baby has demonstrated that. But Joseph is just man, this baby fucking hates food. Mm-hmm. So Polnareff comes over with the solution to tickle the baby. Little coochie coo, so it opens its mouth, and then you shove the spoon inside, and you force feed the baby its own poop. Everybody's happy.
Ta-da. The way they animate Polnareff's hands moving for the coochie coo looks his hands are from a WarioWare minigame. Yes. The way they're moving, it's really funny.
They don't twist or rotate, or they just slide around above the baby. It's very paper doll hands with animated fingers.
The camera cuts away to a further away shot of the baby eating its own poop in the baby food. And then the camera pans over to Kakyoin, who has the smuggest looking smile on his fucking face. And he's looking straight at the camera, and he just says, badum-tis. He does a rim shot at the audience. Just
like the narrator did at the end of the Sun episode. It's just a thing now. We do that now.
Yeah, there is no other JoJo part that does this. Only part 3 frequently has characters, both villains and the heroes, just look straight at the audience and just do a rim shot or just acknowledge a stupid joke or something. It's so weird.
However, that's not the end. We have a bit of a button, a bit of foreshadowing into what's to come. As the crew is now crossing the Red Sea on a little boat, JoJo looks at the compass and notices they're not heading due west. They are sailing south toward an island, not toward, the nation of Egypt. And he's like, what the fuck is up, old man? And Joseph is like, yeah, good eye. I'm going to that island. We're on a detour to meet a guy.
Got a new guy to meet.
We gotta meet a guy. There's a very important guy on that island. It's a guyland.
And that's that is where this episode ends. Cliffhangering you on a new guy. Can't wait for the new guy.
So yeah, that is it. That is the Death 13 two-parter.
I like the Death 13 two-parter. I like it because it's been a while since you get something that's been like majorly Coculine focused, and it's a fun one for him to have to deal with because it's not something where his normal like tactics like work very well. It's such a weird fucking situation, and also you get to see Coculine repeatedly threaten a baby.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've been mentioning it, but it really is a synthesis of a lot of what part 3 is, both in these little details, but also in the mood. Like, this is a strange situation. How do they figure out what the situation even is? How do they get out of it? But with this very special blend of horror and comedy, or danger and comedy suffused through the entire thing.
We've been in these types of stand fights for a little while now. One of the big reasons why I still continue to enjoy watching the later JoJo parts is just there are so many stands at this point where the powers are so specific and weird that you have no idea how they can beat it. Mm-hmm. It's always satisfying, or almost always satisfying. Every once in a while you get an episode where it's just like, well, how did they beat the stand? I don't know. They just like sucked it up and swallowed it. I don't know. But most of the time the solutions to these things are just, I don't know, a lot of the episodes keep me on the edge of my seat, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. What the fuck's going to go on with this evil baby?
This feels like kind of an ass pull. Like, looking in hindsight, I can imagine Coculine as he's just grasping at straws, like, I don't know, what if my stand is out while I fall asleep? Would that do anything? And trying it, I have no idea why he would expect that to work.
Yeah.
But as an act of a desperate man, I can see him thinking of it.
Yeah. As he explains, it was like, oh, he had that idea as he was passing out and, had to stand, go underground and stuff. I almost wish it was just a happy accident. Mm-hmm. And then he's just like, oh, shit, I got my stand here. I don't know. Yeah, it is a little bit of an ass pull, but not enough of one to ruin the episode or anything for me, because everything up to that point is pretty good. And also, it's nice to see Coculine do, the thing we saw him do the first time he ever fought again. He still knows how to do that.
There is a slight rewrite where Coculine gets knocked out. He hides because, he has so much experience here. As soon as he's knocked out, he has his memories. So he's in hiding. And then he hears Death 13 give that speech about how stands could possibly be brought here. And he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that could totally work. Again, JoJo, one of the things I really like, but damn, if it could have just a slight rewrite of a lot of its stuff, it would be even better. If it wasn't being actively written on a weekly schedule.
While we talk about such things, Mannish Boy was another name applied many years later in 2000 or 2005 in some supplementary material.
Yeah, there's a lot of unnamed stand users in part 3.
And also, one change from the manga is there is a scene where the baby smokes.
Yes, that's right. Oh my god. It's been so long since I read part 3 that I forgot the baby smokes.
The baby smokes. Smoking baby.
I love that one of the things that gets censored the most, even more than the violence or the baby penises, is smoking. Mm-hmm. That's a big time thing. Well, the baby
penises never get censored.
Yeah, never.
They are out.
Yeah, it's smoking is the big time, you cannot show this on TV, in the Japanese version at least, because there's some scenes later where JoJo is smoking a cigarette and you just can't see his face. It's all black. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about Baby Stand.
So that means we will be back next week with the Judgment two-part stand fight. I assume there's a fight. There's probably a fight. I bet the stand is named Judgment.
I do want to bring up one more funny thing, actually. I was looking at the JoJo Wiki entry for the evil baby, and underneath abilities, the first one listed is precociousness.
Oh, yeah.
Not his stand ability, just evil baby.
That's a real precocious baby. So please keep track of all your precocious children. Be sure to stow them securely in the overhead luggage compartments for their safety. And we will be back next time with Judgment.
See you later, everybody.
To be continued.